morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Friday. Yeah, you know what that means. Sit back, relax, strap on that seatbelt, leave the drive into us today. Another week in the books. It's going to be another fantastic weather week in the Valley of the Sun. Enjoy it while it lasts, folks. This may be the last, I guess, not unreasonably hot weekend left for everybody. So get out there and enjoy it. And speaking of enjoy, it's great having Bobby from Texas on yesterday. We got people coming in the morning, signing up. Hey, I'm going to say this. Listen, we don't know, but I got a long talk with Bobby's guys, and they're very, very confident in the building out of the mine stage here. And they essentially are saying, hey, when we built out this mine, $16. How does it go from 16 to 50 or 100? That's going to be Bobby, right? Bobby was talking about, hey, I got to get out there. I've got connections in Asia specifically that he thinks will start using Texit as a way to pay for goods and services. And then that happens, right? Then you start talking, crazy kind of stuff. That's why, I think it's more than worth it here to get in. And, of course, if you want to do that, call us, 800-951-0592. That's the same place to call for your gold and silver. AllAmericanGold.com is the website. We had interesting markets. Yesterday we had really bad retail sales, only up 1/10. We saw gold rally today. Gold's down again, right? And I think here when we're looking at gold, 3120 is support. We're at 3180 today, but that is kind of the support level. The big support, the 200-day moving average. So let's just say, what's Joe? Give us the worst case for gold. Just below 2,900 is where the 200-day moving average is, and every day that moving average gets higher and higher and higher. But I think 3120 is probably it. We did get consumer sentiment out today. It wasn't great. 50.8, that's lower, right? This is another one of those readings. 50 is kind of it's not good, it's not, right? So just above the they were looking for 53.4. They're saying that sentiment is down 30% from January. Now, I don't know how much of that is sour grapes on the Democrats. I don't know. Well, the rest of this stuff, everyone's talking about inflation. Jay Powell talked yesterday. He reiterated he's worried about it. Walmart yesterday said price increases are coming, and they're going to be here in the next couple of weeks. And, I think that's going to be the thing. We got a really low inflation number this last week. And now, all of a sudden, it may be just a little delayed. We'll see. What exactly is Walmart going to do? What items are they going to be raising pricing on? Those are the things that I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it is interesting that they have announced that they are going to be forced to raise prices, and that they said to look for that to start pretty much any day now. So we'll see. Again, I don't know what it is. They didn't get really specific in that. The other big news, United Healthcare getting worse again about Medicare fraud. Could be a problem there to keep your eyes out for. Donald Trump not happy with Tim Cook at Apple, right? Remember, Apple is saying, well, we'll just make stuff in India and ship it. Yeah, Donald Trump didn't like that. I don't know what that means, but he didn't like that. The good news out today from the president was he was saying, hey, everybody wants to make a deal. We can't make the deals fast enough. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to let people know exactly what they're going to have to pay to do business with the United States. So maybe here in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see some of these tariffs, I don't know what ones, come down to 10%, something like that. Other than that, that's kind of the news. Their home builder sentiment was terrible. And again, I think the home builders get it. The index all the way down to 34. So again, this is 50 is neutral. So way below neutral. The spring buying season has been off to a very slow start. Elevated insurance rates, policy uncertainties, building material costs, a major blow to the home builders. So again, I think that the home builders are letting you know, hey, guess what? We're having a hard time selling homes, but the cost is going to go up, right? Yeah, I get it. I wouldn't be happy if I was a home builder either. Here's the good news. I'm not a home builder. Patriot Radio News Hour. The Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. Let's take a quick look at the markets, okay? So right now, pretty quiet day. The Dow's up 30. The S&P's up 7. The Nasdaq's up 5. The 10-year note, quiet right now, 444. So, again, elevated, not where we want it to be. I got news. It appears that the Federal Reserve may have restarted quantitative easing and doesn't want anybody to know. I'll get to that in a minute. Oil's up 50 cents right now. Gold is down, as we said. Gold is down right now $60 at $31.80. Silver's at $32. Good time to pick up some silver, too. So we'll continue to watch as these things develop. Jamie Dimon today saying that he's not taking the recession off the table. It's interesting. Everyone's kind of saying, well, maybe we're going to miss it. Jamie Dimon saying larger deficits, can't take it off the table. I don't know how long or how big it'll be. Talking about the size, hoping that we could avoid it. But the recession risks are still very elevated, according to Jamie Dimon. Then, a story broke early this morning. And this is something where, again, this is why you want to tune in here. Market Watch is reporting that the U.S. Federal Reserve pulled off a stealthy bond buying spree for over 4 days last week. Now, remember, that was when the Treasury had to refinance, right? They had to sell, on top of the regular debt, $125 billion worth of more debt. According to Market Watch, the Treasury bought over $43 billion of Treasuries last week. And I'm thinking, how high were Treasuries going to be? See, this is my worry. I know, listen, everyone's focused on positive trade stuff, right? Trump's out there with the out in the Middle East, Saudi, Qatar, right? Hey, everything's wonderful. Look at everyone's buying a Boeing airplane, woo, right? And all, I get it. Don't look here. This is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. They said that they had to buy $8.8 billion of 30-year notes last week. By the way, they only were doing $20 billion. So they almost had to buy half of that auction and another $35 billion earlier in the week. So remember, they did three-year auction, a 10-year auction, and a 30-year auction for the $125 billion. Market Watch is reporting that the Federal Reserve had to buy almost $44 billion of it, or 35% of the auction. This kind of tells me that, just like what we thought. There's not a lot of excess liquidity in the bond market, so we'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting to see if they have to step in to these markets again. I think maybe they're going to give them a hall pass. Well, if the Treasury didn't have their thing, then maybe it would have been all right. But again, not wanting to communicate this to the markets, I think, tells you everything that you really need to know. It is very precarious right now. Doesn't feel that way, but it is. The big thing right now, the Republicans are struggling here, getting the big, glorious bill done. Right now, it looks like there's going to have to be major concessions just to keep the Republicans together, and that's not going to work. So what do we have? First, we have the high-tax state Republicans. So think about believe it or not, there are some Republicans in New York. There are some in California, New Jersey, Illinois, right? The SALT deductions. So right now, as you know, you're allowed to write off what you pay in state income tax on your federal tax. Now, for states that don't have high taxes, not necessarily a big deal. But, of course, the states that do, it's a very big deal. Now, the Trump administration wanted to cap that. Hey, we'll let you write off $30,000. Now, of course, for the average Joe on the street, they're like, what? Take me 5, 10, 20 years to get $30,000 of state income tax. Well, for the rich people, it doesn't. The Republicans in that state are like, nope, I won't do it because I can't get reelected. That's issue. So that's one issue. Obviously, if they do unlimited, what happens? Well, up goes the debt, right? Even more. It's already going to go up. So that's one problem. But then they have a problem with Medicare, Medicaid. They want states to pay more. And certain states are going to get hit very hard. Florida is an example. Well, guess what? They're like, hey, no deal. No way. We don't want to pay for it. So again, if they cave, well, the deficit, what? The deficit just goes higher, right? And so every scenario that they have, whether it's Medicare, Medicaid, whether it's the SALT deductions, whether it's the giving the tax breaks to the rich or what have you, they have certain Republicans that are like, we're not going to do it. They only can have two not do it. So right now, and I think this is kind of what Jamie Dimon are probably talking about today. If we're going to get a deal, it's going to be a deal that raises the debt a lot more than anybody will want to admit, and they'll probably try to cover it up with, oh, but we're going to have huge growth. Remember, we had that talk, right? We had that talk about what's the plan. The plan is grow our way out of it. We want, hey, if we can grow faster than the debt grows, right? That's the hope. If we can just grow faster than the debt grows, well, this would kill that. So this is going to become very, very important over the next 2 weeks. I think, matter of fact, this is probably what's going to drive the markets as the Treasury gets closer and closer to running out of money. And, of course, news today coming out that the central bank, without telling anybody, which is, I think, the biggest problem, actually was in the Treasury markets last week and added $45 billion of debt to their balance sheet. And I think that really puts everything in perspective, doesn't it? When we start really looking at this, kick the can down the road, kick the can down the road, kick the can down the road. I think everybody could understand, okay, quantitative easing when everything was bad. Okay. Quantitative easing when COVID came. Okay, we can do that. Quantitative easing and it's not bad? Wait a minute. Right? That's what's different. And that's, I think, the problem, the elephant in the room. Like I said, it's not a good plan, but Trump has a plan. They're trying. They're going to try to grow our way out of it. I don't see how it works. We're going to have extreme pressure on debt. You know, Jeff Gundlach talked about it last week. Jamie Dimon's talking about it this week. And then on top of that, the money creation that we're expecting, right? The tax cuts and all of that stuff. It's inflationary. It just is. I mean, are we going to be in a vicious cycle here? It is very possible. And I think that's why Jamie Dimon said that, hey, we can't rule anything out. Way too early. I hate, right? I guess, we got to remember, Jamie, we got to wait and see. Well, I think we got to wait and see. I think that part is right. What are we waiting and seeing? We got to wait and see how big is the debt actually going to be. How about Costco? Costco coming out and saying the gold rush continues, saying that every time they put their gold bars on, they sell out in less than 2 hours. Costco now says, they used to let you buy 2. That's gone. You now can only buy 1, and Costco is saying it's still not enough. It's very telling. Very telling how many people are aware, hey, something's wrong. Right? We talked about how the views of gold have changed. The views of gold have changed in this regard. People now say, hey, I'd rather have gold than stocks. Interesting, because stocks have done pretty well. I mean, started off a little rough this year, but I mean, it's about even, right? It's not like they got hammered, and well, they're not yet. People smell a rat. And when we're sitting here thinking about the choice that they're making, would I rather keep these dollars in my wallet? Would I rather keep them in my savings account or my checking account? Or would I rather stack gold? And here's the funny thing. Costco's like, we just can't buy enough. Right? It's amazing. You're thinking, it's Costco, buy more, right? Pallets. I want to see pallets of gold in Costco. Right? Of course, you can't, they don't have them in the stores. You can only buy them online. Apparently, you can't buy them at all anymore. I don't know. That's what they're saying. So it's just another one of those big indicators that people are saying, okay, something not right. And I think the rest of the world agrees. And it's not just our currency, it's all the fiat currency. I think this is why, right? We saw Coinbase go on the S&P 500 this week, right? I mean, it's getting ready. We know it's coming, right? I mean, all of us know, right? Can't buy anything with cash at a sporting event, at a concert, right? And it seems like every time you turn around, it's something else, right? It's something else. Now you can't use cash here, right? You can't use it there. You can't use it here. I think the whole system is getting ready to make a big change. And this is why you're seeing this flight to gold. I mean, it really is unprecedented. Like I said, I've been doing this 22 years. We've never seen anything like it. It's incredible the amount of gold that is being bought, that's being physically delivered. Things that most people would never, ever happen. Now even, Goldman Sachs, who's been really bullish on gold, they're actually amassing gold at Goldman. Well, it's got it right in the name, so it must be the thing. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. I was going to say Joe and Jason, but right now it's just Joe. Well, don't worry. Believe me, Jason is working his you-know-what off right now, trying to get everything squared away. We had a big Texit meeting up there in Colorado yesterday. Listen, I got two good specials here today. $20 gold pieces. Listen, remember that we ran them below spot earlier this week. Those are gone. They're gone. But $33.95 on a $20 gold piece. Gold's $31.82. Pretty close. Pretty close. How about U.S. Silver Eagles? We haven't done those in a while. Rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles. I'm going to take them down. $25 a roll. $760 on a roll of U.S. Silver Eagles today. 800-951-0592. And to give you an idea, so Goldman put together their case that gold is getting ready to make the next leg up, calling this phase here consolidation, saying get ready. So first they throw this chart up, and they call it pre-Liberation Day levels. Gold traded in a $550 range in the span of 6 weeks this year. And again, most of it, up. To give you an idea, that used to take gold half a decade. It took gold 5 years to trade in a $500 range from 2014 to 2019. So what used to take 5 years now takes 6 weeks. They continue to talk about China, saying they don't care what China reports as their gold sales. They are in the driver's seat, 9 million ounces at a whack, and it's unrelenting, according to Goldman. Matter of fact, they have this Chinese gold positioning chart. It's never been higher. In the meantime, the West is still not in the trade, and that's true. It's true. What does that mean? That means here, the net long positions for gold, they're incredibly low. So when we think about where, when we see where do moves come from, this is it. When are moves over? When everybody's long. Goldman says nobody's long. And says this is like gold's $1,000 cheaper than what it is. That's how not long they are. The best trades, well, the long gamma, as they call it. And I don't even know what it is, but it has to do with realized gold volumes. They said it was the best trade in the month of April. Long risk with other winning trades. Goldman says gold outperforms. In other words, listen, there's certain trades that are winners. Gold's one of those trades, according to Goldman. And according to Goldman, it's the best winning trade. What does that mean? Well, they don't get hurt nearly as much when it falls, and they get good reward when it rises. Some of these other think about the Max 7 stocks. Man, they've been on a roller coaster. And they're saying gold is the best. Then they talk about physical moves in gold. With London now trading above the COMEX. Now, this is something new. Normally, what we've been seeing in gold is New York has a premium over London. So it's for people to know London is, it's the spot market. Okay? So it makes sense, right? If London's the spot market and New York is trading a June gold contract, which is what they're trading right now, it's a June contract. Normally what we see is that June contract is always higher than the spot price. Goldman says that's not true right now. Another, in their mind, reason why gold is going to spring higher again. And they said that they look forward to London having to restockpile their gold because of the Trump. Remember all that gold that flowed out? Goldman says, listen, it flowed out, it didn't come back. London's going to be forced to restock. Then they talked about silver, talking about how the correlation, the gold to silver ratio at 15-year low, right? It's low, right? It's like 100 plus. It's a problem. So this is the case. It's not my case. It's Goldman's case. But it is, when you think about it, okay, that's pretty sound logic, right? That makes a lot of sense. Pick up some more gold, pick up some silver, $20 gold pieces, $33.95. Rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles at $760 today at 800-951-0592. And then, we'll have to wait and see, right? What is going to happen with the budget here? Right now, I don't know that they can get it done. And if the one big bill blows up, then I think we got chaos come next week. So because then what do we do? Right? Well, then what? We got to start over. Basically, I think they're going to. Here's what I think. I think they're going to get a deal done. And I think they're going to surrender to even higher deficits. That's what I think. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason on this Friday. Well, me on this Friday, $20 gold, $33.95. Rolls a U.S. Silver Eagle, $760 at 800-951-0592, and get it put away. Just telling you. Then, if you want to take a shot, and again, it's a risk. I'm very straightforward about this. I think it is as far as risk goes, it's a good risk, right? I think that Bobby has been working on going around the banks for most of his life. You heard him yesterday. This is what he's been working on, trying to figure out. I think all of us would love to not involve the bank when we're making transactions. We'd love it. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to make my first crypto payment of any kind ever today. And it's exciting. I've never done it. I will say this. It's inevitable. I don't want it to be inevitable, but it's inevitable. Digital money's coming. It's almost here. Right? I mean, credit cards, debit cards, that's a form of digital. Slow, but it's a form. It's coming. And one of the big things is, whether we like it or not, crypto's cheaper. What does that mean? All it means is for you to send money to somebody else. It's a lot less expensive. Think about credit cards. Take a lot of credit cards. On gold purchases, I only charge you 2%. I actually lose money. Everywhere else, you know it. It's 3%, and really it's getting closer to 4%. All these rewards, those aren't free. Hey, I want my points. The retailer pays that. I pay it. Anybody out there that takes credit cards pays it. That's why, think about this. What was it? I don't know. 10 years ago? Maybe less, where you could charge more for a credit card? Used to not be able to do that. And then they're like, okay, wait a minute, these fees got ridiculous. And really, the huge benefit is when you send big money, and you do it every day, right? Could you imagine a major exporter in China, how much they send out in billing every day? Even here, think about an oil company or one big tanker of oil. I mean, how much money is that? Hundreds of millions of one Boeing airplane, $1 billion. You know the wiring fee on that? We're going to be left behind. And this is, Texit is an opportunity for all of us to kind of take a shot at something I think all of us believe in, right? We would love to not have to use the banker's money. We'd love it. It's an opportunity. Bobby talks about it being, hey, this is your second shot at Bitcoin. The one thing that they're very confident about is the build out of the mine, right? Which is getting miners like us involved in the growth's been off the charts. I don't know if you've seen the price, right? Not that, listen, this isn't the end-all, be-all. But it's at 97 cents right now. It's got a market cap of over $40 million. 3 weeks ago, it was $23 million. When I started telling you about this, it wasn't even $30 million. When I started telling you about Texit, right? What was it, 55 cents? When I first heard about it, it was 45 cents. It's 97. Why? Miners by the hundreds sign up every day. And that builds it out. That gives credibility. At $100 million market cap, that's when he's like, yes, let's be on Kraken. Let's be on Coinbase. Things get even better then. You know, the funny part is there's no restrictions. Well, do they prevent me from selling my coins? No. You can do whatever the heck you want. Here's another cool part. I just learned this yesterday, and maybe I should have learned more. If you sell within the first year, any coin you sell, that's capital gains tax. If you have a gain, right, that'll be a capital gains tax. And you're going to get hit, you know, up to 30%, 37%. You know, if you're already make a good living, you're going to pay 37%. That's a big hit. The cool part is if you've held it for a year, it goes down to 20%. That's a big deal, right? That's a lot more manageable to fill out, right? We got the 3, 6, 9 special. You guys know the most you can do is really $8,955. Is it a risk? Yes. I like to call it an educated guess. 800-951-0592. Get into Texit today. I got a funny feeling it's going to be up 100% next month. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. Well, me today, that's okay. Listen, it's a good problem. It's a great problem. I'm telling you right now, get your gold put away. It keeps coming higher and higher now, down $50, $31.90. $20 gold pieces, $33.95. Goldman's basically saying, listen, okay, gold's going to be $4,000 real soon, $4,500 real soon, probably $5,000. I just told you about the Republicans. It's trouble. Listen, I get it. There's no good choice. This is the problem. The Republicans got the same problem Donald Trump has. We all got. Jay Powell's got it. There are no good choices. Right? Does anyone want to cut Medicare, Medicaid? No. Right? Does anyone want higher taxes? No. Does anyone want to cap salt deductions? No. That's it. I'm telling you. And I look at Texit. Digital money's coming fast. Don't be left behind. Figure this out. Listen, we're all going to get crypto accounts. Yeah. Yep. I'm making my first payment in crypto today. Who would have thought? How cool will it be over the holidays when you're talking to your grandkids? Maybe it's your kids. Heck, maybe it's your great-grandkids, nieces, nephew, and you're talking about, I got my crypto account. I'm on Kraken. I'm on Coinbase. I'm a miner in TEXTITcoin. What? Yeah. Yep. Don't be left behind. It's coming. At least know how to operate in that space. I want to point this out. Any of you that have signed up under us, under me, under Jason, if you want to sign people up, but you don't want to be responsible, I got to collect the payment, then I got to pay Texit, right? If you don't have a crypto account, you can't even pay Texit. So if you want us to handle that for you, we will do it. It's simple. You can either fill out the form yourself, the same form that we've had you fill out, put your sponsor ID in there, sign them up for the package that they want, and then call us or shoot us an email And that way we can handle the billing, and we'll let Texas know. Or just have your friends call us up at our 800 number and give them your sponsor ID. Right? That's your username for most people. That's what they seem to call it, your username. And have them give that to us. You get the credit. We'll handle the billing for you. And again, here's the great part. Not only do we take cash, check, gold, credit cards, right? We take them all. So it's a convenience that we're happy to offer. This is a tremendous opportunity to make a big look. Listen, as I said, there's risk involved. Right? This is still a very young opportunity. What do I mean by that? They haven't been around for 5 years, right? They're still ramping up, and that's where the risk is. That's where the opportunity is. Get signed up today. 800-951-0592 for all your gold and silver and Texas needs. Here's the good news or the bad news. I come back. I got one more hour. Stay with us.